Yeah, the honorable. Is that you? Is that you, dog?
That podcast is dissolved, Omar.
No, it was OJ.
Yeah, OJ and Seth. Yeah.
I want to ask you about a couple interesting things you said on it.
Okay.
One about
Just
hiring
give me a
Bob
little
Newman.
elbow tap.
At what point did that
Ben
happen?
Newman.
Ben Newman, I should
Newman,
say.
yeah.
At what point did that happen? Was it early in training camp? And also, I couldn't tell what you said was the thing you wrote on the wristband. JM told me you was.
Yeah, so Ben, I didn't really hire Ben. It was more brought to me because he's a good friend of Caleb Thornhill's. And so he did a lot of work with Alabama and some other top teams. And, yeah, he's just like a confidence coach. And, he has, a bunch of books out and stuff about it. But really kind of what he told me and what he kind of ingrained in me was just that positive self-talk. And just, because it's easy to get in your head about things when things are going well and just kind of get trapped in that negative cycle. But really, if you just kind of take some perspective and get outside of yourself and really try to talk to yourself positively and just focus on what you have to focus every day, then, I think that really helped me a lot.
And was that early in training camp?
No, that was like midway through the season, around midway through the season.
Because I know you talked on the podcast about early in training camp, about maybe not being in the best place in terms of not wanting to let teammates and coaches down. You were hurt for a time.
Yeah, exactly.
So was that a difficult first couple of weeks of training camp for you from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of mentioned on the podcast too, just how coming out of the U and how everything happened there. Like I was kind of riding on this high, and so when I came into camp and started getting hit with some adversity again, I just had to kind of reposition myself and refocus my energy and my attention. So ultimately, it ended up. I'm really grateful for the fact that happened because in the span of the season, I felt myself growing as a person. And then back, yeah. So JWM just watched me. And that just basically evokes, an emotional response from me, just kind of having a chip on my shoulder still, and just reminding myself that, I still have everything to prove to myself and to haters.
We spoke to you before your rookie season, and you said that you wanted to take steps to be like an every down player. Sometimes you may have been taken off the field in non-passing situations. I guess what have you done during the offseason, or maybe attempted to do, to kind of make sure you're an every down player in year two?
I think for me, it's just a mindset thing. I think I'm just kind of taking pride in the fact that it's almost like that chip on my shoulder, that just watch me thing. It's like, people said I couldn't play early downs. Like, all right, just watch me. So it's just a mentality, having that dog mentality, having that fight to where every single snap, it's me against him, and, who's going to win? It's damn sure not going to be him. So.
Jaelan, do you feel that, how would you classify your rookie season? I was a little surprised to hear you talking about it in the way that you were, because I thought it was a decent rookie year, but apparently you felt otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really critical of myself, and I have a lot of high aspirations, and I want to do everything I can to help the team. And so for me, not being able to come in every single down and help the team, like that's something where, I took it on myself where I'm going to work on this. And so, the sacks were nice, but ultimately it's more than just sacks. It's more than just production. It's about, how you fit in the defense and what are you doing to contribute to the team as a whole. And so, yeah, just constantly trying to better myself and improve the things that I need to improve on.
Yes, you started excelling when you were in a pass rush specific role. Do you still feel like you're a linebacker? You want to be linebacker? You want to play that, or you want to be a hand in the ground, get upfield kind of guy?
I'm just trying to be the most well-rounded player that I can be. So whatever role that the coaches, see fit for me, I can fit that role accordingly.
So you're still in the linebacker room, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so outside linebacker room.
Jaelan, in the podcast, you talked about the 3 games means you're not a rookie anymore, but you're cutting the rookie tie already. I was curious, as you kind of look back at this time last year, at the draft night and everything, how would you say you've kind of grown, or your approach is different, whether it's mentally or physically, just kind of comparing where you were a year ago to this time?
Yeah, I think I've definitely toughened up on the mental standpoint of things, and just, learning about what the league is and how to manage my expectations, like I said. But yeah, it's crazy to think that, basically a year ago tomorrow was draft night, and just the whirlwind of emotions and just how this year went. It's pretty crazy, but, just looking to take everything from last year and just keep building on it.
When you look back at a year ago, the whole process leading up to the draft, what were teams questioning you? Because the thought was you're going to go really high if it wasn't for A, health, or B, music. And outside interest. What were teams asking you about, and your thoughts on everything, how it played out?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, excuse me, every team was just doing their due diligence. You know, it's a big investment to, you know, draft somebody in the first round, draft somebody at all, but especially in the first round. And so for me, you know, with the story that I had and having left the game and retired and then come back, I just think they wanted to hear from the horse's mouth, like what went down, and just make sure that my passion was still there and everything. And I think I proved that to every single team, and especially, you know, the Dolphins obviously took the chance on me.
You got, did anything stand out? Anything any more in particular in the interviews you were given?
You know, they obviously asked a lot about football knowledge and everything like that, but just, you know, who I was from a character standpoint, and, you know, my upbringing and my mindset and a lot of things like that. So, I mean, I probably did 60 Zoom interviews, so I couldn't tell you, like, specific questions. It's all a whirlwind, but that was kind of the main theme, main idea, just trying to get a picture of who I was as a person.
Were you happy where you were you know, obviously things work out for a reason, but did you go where you expected to go, or looking back on it all?
I don't know if I expected to get drafted here, but I'm ecstatic like that I'm here. I literally wouldn't have it any other way to be able to come, you know, to the U and then come to the Dolphins. Like it's literally like a storybook. You know, I couldn't have written it up any better. So I'm just extremely grateful and thankful that, you know, the Dolphins took the chance on me to bring me here. Wow.
What kind of a sense do you get about how similar or different the defense could be with Flo having moved on and Coach Boyer staying?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think Coach Boyer, you know, being the defensive coordinator, it's his defense, and so we're doing. I don't want to get into, you know, the details of our defense. Obviously, I don't want to give anybody competitive advantage this early, but you know, we're just working on continuity as a defense. We're working on communication. We're working on just gelling together so that we're able to play at the, you know, highest level possible.
What are your impressions of what it'll be like going against Teron Armstead in practice?
Iron sharpens iron. Everybody knows that. So just to be able to, you know, pick his brain and get different looks and experience from, you know, a guy who's, you know, clearly established himself in this league. So it's really cool to be able to have some competition like that.
So one thing Tua mentioned is that Ian McDaniel looked at 150 snaps of his. Have you done anything likewise in terms of some of the plays that you liked in pass rush and against the run, some of the plays you didn't like? Have you done that on your own? Have you done it with Campanelli or with Boyer? And if you have, I was curious, without giving away anything competitively, Jaelan, is there anything you emerged from thinking with each in terms of, I want another pass rush move, or I've got to do something a little bit differently against the run?
You know, I think it's just, like I said, that mentality, and then also just honing in the skills and just having confidence and trust in myself. I think that confidence is a huge thing in this game, in any game really, but you know, especially in football, you can't play scared, you can't play tentative, and you can't, you know, think, because then you're going to slow down. So for me, you know, I'm really trying to be sharp and on point with my preparation and knowing the defense as a whole, and not just my own assignment, but conceptually what we're trying to do as a defense, so that therefore I can play fast, play confidently, and just, you know, come into my own.
On that same note, going into this offseason, was there anything you wanted to do physically, whether it's add weight, cut weight, anything like that to help you be a better player, be that every down player?
Yeah, just working on body recomposition, just, you know, continuously trying to build lean muscle and cut as much fat as possible. And so, you know, weight-wise, I feel really good. I feel like I'm running around well. I feel like I'm strong as well. So just, you know, continuously trying to improve my body and, you know, fine-tune like some smaller muscles that you might not think about that, you know, are really good in stabilization and different lateral movements and different things like that. So just, you know, trying to prime my body for the season, no doubt.
Leaner.
Yeah.
How much?
Lean mean machine, man. 5 pounds, literally. It's surprising, like, body composition, you know, can make a huge difference. Like, you can, because obviously muscle weighs more than fat, so being able to trim fat significantly, you know, although I may look 10, 15 pounds leaner, in reality, I'm almost the same weight, so.
Mentally, how much different is this offseason than last? I feel like leaving college, you're so focused on prepping for the draft, and then you're focused on acclimating to your team. This year, I mean, we've seen you on podcast appearances out in the community. You've been able to do so much, yet you still have to, of course, hone your craft. So what has this been like mentally for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to take advantage of the off season to be involved in as many different things as possible. I think that, having as much time as we have, I have to spend it doing something positive. And so, I can kind of schedule things out to where I'm still getting my work in with football, but then I'm also able to continue some of the community work that I've been trying to do as well. And so the mentality this offseason, I'm feeling confident, feeling a lot more focused than I was last year because, like you said, you're worried about the draft, you have anxiety, all this stuff. And so for me, being comfortable in my position and just really trying to, like I said, hone in my craft and start strong.
How do the great ones, and you went through this already, how do the great ones do it from the jump? Do you think about that, and now do you have an idea how they do it?
Say it again?
How do the great ones, they come in rookie year, boom, first game, they're rolling. You said yourself it took you a little while to get acclimated. You know now how that happens?
I think everybody develops at their own pace. I don't know if that statement is necessarily true. I'm not saying it's false, but there have been great players who come in and don't have success until their third, fourth year in the league. So everybody develops at their own pace, and for me, it was understanding that and not trying to compare myself to other people, because at the end of the day, my preparation and my journey is what's most important. And so for me, just like I said in the podcast, being process-oriented and not result-oriented, because at the end of the day, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And so, yeah, my season went the way it did, but like I said, looking to come into next year ready and starting fast.
That's what I'm talking about, like the experience that you went through last. Something clicked there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Towards the sixth game, something clicked there for you?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a confidence thing. It's just being confident in myself, being confident in my preparation, and just going out on the field and leaving it all out there.
Jaelan, do you see yourself working with the confidence coach again this year? And as best as you can describe it, how much of a jump do you think you will have in year two compared to your rookie year?
Yeah, I still talk to Ben almost every day. He texts me, positive messages every morning and just, positive affirmations and things like that. And so definitely continue to work with him. And then just in terms of, I'm not setting any expectations for next year. Just know I'm working my ass off and, really trying to be a trusted player and a trusted teammate and do everything I can, for this organization.
As big of a draft class as last year with you and Greg, but any of your former teammates that you're looking forward to that are coming out this year that you're looking forward to seeing at the next level?
Yeah, I got a handful of my boys. Mike Harley's in the draft, John Ford, Zach McLeod, Charleston, I'm pretty sure is in the draft. I didn't play with him, but DeAndre Johnson, there's a bunch of guys. And so I was actually luckily able to watch DeAndre and Zach perform in the local day, and so got to kind of chop it up with them and give them some advice and just congratulate them on everything they've done so far. So it's really exciting to see some of my friends, and I have friends from other schools as well in this draft. So it's just really cool to see people fulfilling their dreams.
Speaking of I know you didn't play with Mitchell Goody or Caleb Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to? I think you did with Mitchell. Did you talk to both players before they transferred here? And have you seen tape to have a sense of what is getting with each guy?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Caleb Johnson yet. Mitchell I knew because he was good friends with one of my best friends from UCLA. And so I've known him for a little while now, and when I heard that he was thinking about coming to the U, I don't, I'm not a salesman. I didn't have to give him some crazy pitch. I just laid out the blueprint, told him, all you gotta do is come in, put your head down, work your ass off, and good things will happen. So I think he made an amazing decision, and I can't wait to see what him and Caleb and the rest of the guys do at the U this year.
And you've seen Mitchell on tape, right?
Yeah.
Great athlete.
Oh yeah, great athlete. Just a great motor, gets after the ball and gets after it. So I'm excited to see him play.
You seem to be at a comfort level. Has the transition been smooth for you from the previous regime to this regime? Because you seem pretty upbeat and comfortable. It seemed like it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah, luckily we have a lot of the same guys in the building, teammates-wise, and then coaches-wise on the defense. We got a lot of same staff members. And regardless, whether it's new guys, old guys, just being able to come together and build a bond outside of football, I think that's the most important thing because then, we're going to be all that much more motivated to play for each other and to win for each other. And so, yeah, I'm loving the new staff, building great relationships with the coaches and the new players, and I'm excited for the season. Thank you, guys.